So this was it. This was the ending to American Horror Story Hotel. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Okay, guys. I have to say, I've been really good, and I've sat in this with you all season, and literally, I've sat in this with you. Um, this is it. This is the last episode. This is the last review. This is the last of everything. This is the finale of American Horror Story Hotel, and I have to say, I'm underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed because I just feel like they just pulled it together and tied up loose strings in their minds. In their minds. So I haven't fussed too much at Ryan Murphy. You haven't lost me as a client, but you gonna have a way. You got a hell of a lot of work to do next season to pull us back together because this is just. Mm-mm. Anyway, this is kind of how I felt about Asylum. Asylum, same thing. Asylum was good to a point, and then it just drug from that point on, and it was just hell to watch. So Asylum was my least favorite of the whole series. Anyway, let's just get into this. Um, as we go in, all of the owners, everybody who's ever been an owner, is dead. Everybody's ass is stiff and stinking. Okay, so we got Iris and Liz left, and they're basically running the Cortez. And what they're trying to do is trying to get a 4-star review on the hotel because the hotel has like bad publicity. You know, people say it's haunted and this, that, thing, and the other, and it's just not making money. So they're trying to get a 4-star review going on, and it's like hell trying to do it because every time they come in, the ghosts are fucking killing the guests. So when we started, we have this set of reviewers that actually come in, and Will Drake and that goddamn Sally's hide up ass, they killed them, fucked them up. When they put them in the room, the room was decked out. They had put all this money into, straightening things up. Child, they killed the shit out of these people, killed them down. And so there was this meeting. They had this meeting, and they pull out all the ghosts together. So everybody that we've seen through the season get killed in the Cortez basically are all there at this meeting, and they're telling them you all have to stop. I mean, if this is our home. This is where we stay. We don't know what's going to end up happening if something happens and we don't have this, or they tear it down. We don't know where we're going to end up at. So you all have to stop. The killing has to stop. Well, they weren't trying to hear it. They're like, child, that's the only thing going on there. Fuck it. It is what it is. Because, they're all militant. So, Sally's the one putting up the biggest fight. Her and Will Drake. James Patrick Marsh comes, and he's like adamant. He's like, listen, like I said, this killing is going to stop, and I'm the one that's running things. The killing is going to stop. Period. And Sally's like, I ain't going to stop. I'm going to kill some more motherfuckers. I'm going to continue to collect souls, and I'm going to do what I want to do. And baby, James Patrick Marsh pushed up on her and said, do you know Sally? You know how he thought. You know Sally. The last time when you didn't listen to me, he says, you know how I get my way with you, how I make you do what I want you to do. And then she had a flash Wouldn't you know it? James Patrick Marsh is the needle dick man. He's the one that dresses up in the bandages and fucks the shit out of people with the damn steel dick. And he be fucking Sally. When Sally don't do like you want her to do, he tears Sally's pussy up with that steel dick. Remember, he's all into sadomasochism and all of that stuff. So it makes sense that that would be him tying up a loose end. Anyway, yeah, because I was wondering if we were going to get on out of here and never know who that was. But that makes sense that that would actually be him. Because again, remember how he came and he went, he just come and go? Excuse me. Yeah, that's how I felt about this. It drug on a little bit. But anyway, so that was that. We moved on. Iris ended up going to Sally because she knew Sally was pissed. She went to Sally and introduced Sally to the internet. So now she's telling her, she's introducing her to how she can go on and deal with the pain on people and all that. So she started communicating with the outside world through her cell phone. She had a cell phone. She dealt with it that way. She talking all crazy shit and she could help. She could not help, but she could continue making sure that people kept doing drugs and being all fucked up right through her cell phone. She's just because that's all she is. Sally is addiction. And addiction calls you in all forms. So that's all that was about Sally. That was way too deep of thinking. And I don't think everybody got that. And there's probably some people that don't even feel as though that's what it was. But that was what I saw. So if you think that it was something else with Sally, leave it in the comments. How we do. We talk about it. But that's what I saw. That's what I've been watching all season. So that was that. Iris has all that going on. Um, Liz Taylor goes to Will Drake. Now he's actually found out that his business is basically gone under. It's going under. His fashion house means nothing anymore because he basically just disappeared. So, it just, the sales have gone down. He doesn't have the money that he thought he had. She convinced him to let her be the face that runs the boardroom. So he basically signed everything over, power of attorney and not over to Liz. And Liz, remember, Liz used to be a salesman. So Liz basically went ahead and saved his business. And we seen that. And I was like, this part was so corny. She saved the business. Of course, they weren't really feeling it at first. The shareholders were like, this motherfucking bald headed drag queen in here, honey. The fuck one out of here. And then the attorney was like, no, baby, here's the paperwork. Will Drake signed it. They're like, well, where is Will Drake? It doesn't matter. He's not here. He's not coming. He sent her to take care of it. And it is what it is. And in that one board meeting, the one guy was like, this is just a farce or whatever. Child, the lawyer slapped the papers down and said, no, this is what Will Drake wanted. And Liz looked at him and said, excuse me, you're fired. You're fired. So that was that. And then they just start saying how, it just started to create a buzz because he was actually designing again. And she was just, supplying the shit. But nobody sees him, because he's dead. But he's at the Cortez. And he would have fashion shows and stuff. And it would be all this intrigue and all this kind of carrying on that was really weird and dark. Because again, people say that the hotel is haunted and all that, but everybody knows that he owns it. All that bullshit. And she basically saved the business. Corn the fuck e. That was corny. That whole wrapping that up, corny. We see at this fashion show, and they actually have Ramona and all of them working together doing a fashion show. All these killers doing a fashion show with a specific guest list, not an open guest list. It was just corny and it was tacky, and that was real. That I think was one of the worst pieces of writing all season. That just sucked. That sucked. That really did. And on that, yeah, that drove me nuts. Let's talk about me for a second. I'm going to do a shameless plug with you guys right quick. We're going to take a break. Take a look at this. This is something that I want to present to you guys, and then we'll come right back and I'll finish up this review. Take a look at this, guys. Okay, guys, thanks so much for taking a look at that. You know, I was about to yawn myself to death. The show actually ran late, and I'm tired. It is what it is. It's like literally 12 minutes to 1 here in Pittsburgh. So just bear with me, but I'm glad I was able to show you guys that. That's something I've been working on. I told you I'd be working on things this year and sharing them with you. That's something I've been working on. And let's go back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Okay, so moving on. Billy Dean Howard is this woman's name, and she was a medium. They brought her there because even with all the fulfillment that Liz was getting from handling Will Drake's business, Iris knew that he was unhappy. So she brings a medium in to see if she can find Tristan in the building because Tristan died in the building, but nobody has seen Tristan. So she goes and she gets the medium, and they go into the room where Tristan actually died, and they go and they try to call on the spirit. Well, the spirit of Tristan does show up, but he has nothing to say to Liz, and basically leaves the medium, and he's upset because Liz took it on herself and said, because he didn't say it, she did. He's mad at me. He's mad at me. And he's blaming me as the reason that he died. And in some ways, she was, but not really. I mean, they were sneaking around fucking. She wasn't fucking herself. They were fucking each other. So anyway, they dealt with all of that. Fine. So that was that. Iris was like off. I was like, that couldn't be it. Maybe it wasn't Tristan that you talked to. Maybe you called upon someone else and it wasn't Tristan. She's like, no, bitch, that was Stephanie. I don't want nothing to do with her. It's like, fuck her. So that was that. But then before she gets out of the room, Donovan comes to the medium and sends a message to Iris. Basically, Donovan went to heaven. Is basically what they were leading us to believe, because it's Saturday all the time and all he has is his favorite pancakes that his mom used to make, and he said, I love you, Mom. So we've been led to believe that Donovan actually went to heaven. So that made Iris very, very happy. Then after that, we see, we didn't know what was going to go on with Liz, because I said, damn, she's so miserable at this point. So Liz ends up going to visit with her son, and her son and his wife actually embraced her into their family. So that was a good thing. So she finally found some joy. Then they had a little baby girl, and Liz was there. She cut the cord and all that. So all that was like good and nice, and wrong show, but it's all nice. I'm like, honey, what am I watching? So then, they got to throw that dark side on it. Then you see Liz talking to Ramona. Right? Was she so happy? She has prostate cancer. She's been literally diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer. So then we have this whole scene where she ends up calling upon the killers. All the ghosts, like the ones that kill, like Sally and all of the people that, that the killers, all the people that have been killed in the rooms and stuff. And basically, it's a funny thing. Everybody loves Liz. Nobody wanted to kill Liz, and she had all these weapons and shit laid out, knives and all kind of shit. So she told them, I love you all, and I'm going to die anyway, and I don't want to be turned. Because Ramona offered to turn her. She's like, no, I don't want to be turned. She said, I want to die right in here with y'all. I want to be with you all forever, and this, that, thing, and the other. So once she said all that, they were like, all right, so old Hyde, that motherfucking Sally was going to lead it, baby. She pulled out her goddamn hypodermic needle, and they get ready to go. So everybody's ready to take a good old piece out of good old Liz. She's like, just stab me, shoot me, do whatever. Baby, it is great to fuck her up. And then the door opens, baby, and turn around, and it's the Countess because no one has seen her. No one has seen her. And she said, oh, yeah, one last go round, baby. And she came in, and she's the one that took Liz and leaned her back on the bed, baby, and gave her shh, and slit her motherfucking throat, and then added her to drop a tear. I said, oh, because she's a dirty bitch. She was still mad. She was still mad at that goddamn Liz. She sliced the fuck out of her. But anyway, so they're all together and everybody was happy. Then you actually seen Liz standing over her body, watching her body bleeding out. And in the door, here comes Tristan. And he told her he didn't come to her because she had more life to live. But now that she's there, it's all good in the hood. And they kissed and made up. And it's all happy, happy, happy. Sucked. But okay, whatever. So then we're saying, okay, so what's the next? What's the last end to be tied up? John Lowe. John Lowe ended up completing, remember, he completed all of the 10 murders. He completed all the murders, the 10 commandments. But then he was on the run from the police. So he and the daughter, the son, and the mother, they all been on the run. Things were getting tight, trying to be able to feed them because he had to keep killing people for them to feed on and all this, kind of carrying on. Then staying low with Scarlett really being a regular person and him being a regular person. So they end up going back to the Cortez because Scarlett's like, it's time to go home to the Cortez. They go back to the Cortez. John's going out, killing people, scoring kills to feed them. And Scarlett's just, going to school like things is normal. Well, John's out one night and he's out one night and he ends up he's being hunted by the police. The police spot him, chase him down. They end up killing him. They end up shooting him to death and killing him. He was trying to get back into the hotel. He couldn't make it. He died right there in front of the hotel. So he's not in the hotel. So then we have the medium again. She's been doing books and doing specials and all of this about the Cortez. And Billy Dean. What's her name? Billy Dean Howard. So it's been years. She just keeps doing it. And of course, John never shows up because John's not there. John's not there. He's not in the hotel. But, nobody really knows. So, the regular world, they don't really know that, how that works. So John says, bring her on down. Because now remember, that's bringing bad publicity to the hotel. Again, so bring her on down. We're going to take care of it. So on the 30th, October 30th, Devil's Night, he says, bring her on in because that's the one day that the killers have their annual dinner. So he's actually allowed into the hotel that day. He gets to go into the hotel for those 24 hours, I guess it is. So they invite her, they let her come in. She goes through her regular bullshit live on television. He ends up telling her, you can't bring the crew. But he shows up and he talks to her and all of that. And, they can't see him. She sees his ghost. They go through all of that. And then he tells her, I'll take you with me. Takes her down to the dinner. And they're all there. All the serial killers are all there. She meets them all. They give her something to drink. And she's like, they go through the whole thing. Aren't you afraid? And she's like, no, I'm not afraid, honey, because I call on a white light to cover me and keep me safe. I'm not safe. I'm not worried about this, that, and the other. So, child, he's like, yeah, all right, bitch, whatever, we'll see. So they gave her whatever it was they gave her to drink, honey. Got her all in a funk and sat her down. They locked her ass down, let her know you're the guest of honor, and we kills the guest of honor, bitch. We're gonna kill you. So what they did was scared her into submission and basically told her, we'll let you go, but you got to promise not to do any more of these stories. Just leave this alone. Don't ever speak about the Cortez ever again. And she's like, all of you are dead. You can't leave the hotel. So once I'm gone, you can't make me not do it. Well, baby, in the door comes Ramona. And Ramona was like, they can't leave the hotel, bitch, but I can. And what I will do, she says, wait a minute, well, what are you? Because, she can sense her. She said, what are you? You're not dead. You're not alive. You're not, what the hell are you? And she told her, I'm a special kind of creature that literally kills to stay living. And I take and I drain the blood out of whoever the fuck it is, and I don't really give a fuck who it is. And if you speak about the Cortez, I will come and I will drain all the blood out of your skinny ass. I was like, oh my God, Ramona. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But so that was basically, next thing you know, you see her running her ass on out of there. She was flying. So she goes on off. Now, corny. That was the tie up of that. Last thing, John Lowe goes into the room. We see Scarlett. Scarlett has actually grown. She's a teenager now. So she got to be all 16, 17. So they're all up in the room. She tells John Lowe, go ahead and get in the bed with him. You see the little baby boy, the mother. Of course, they're not aging. You see Scarlett. She's like, I'm getting too big to be laying in the family bed. So she goes and she lays over on a chair. She sits over in the chair, leans over in the chair. And John tells John to get in bed. John gets in the bed with them and he says, so I guess, he said, I'm going to lay it. As soon as I close my eyes and fall off to sleep, that'll be it. I won't see them again for another year. Because again, he just goes, his soul will go back to wherever he is in limbo, probably hell, because he did all his murders and all that. And then he's able to come back on Devil's Night. Corny, this writing. I was a little disappointed. And that's literally how it ended. With the exception that they did that scene, that was it. And then there was one last scene. We see the people sitting at the bar, and the Countess is sitting at the bar, this badass electric blue gown and all her jewels, bitch is done, like she's been. And she's talking to this guy, and it's Devil's Night. And it was just what it all was saying to you is it's business as usual. She said something to him about his cheekbones. A mess. A mess. I've sat through this season of American Horror Story, and I am still a big fan of American Horror Story. A big fan. But I was underwhelmed, to say the least, this season with what has actually gone on. Yeah, I was just a bit underwhelmed. But it's over now. It's over now, and we will wait and see what the next subject is. I'm sure they'll be back. Lady Gaga just won. She just won a Golden Globe last week, so we will see. We will see what is going to go on. But that's it. I thank you guys for riding out with me with this for the whole season. And I know it wasn't the usual, because usually we're like really hanging on, It wasn't what we were used to, but we made it through the season. So I'm really bummed out about that. But anyway, this is it for American Horror Story Hotel. That was the finale. I thank you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know how that works. Don't be thumbs down at me because the show was bad now. If you thumbs down me, you can thumbs down me because you thought I didn't do something that I was supposed to do. But don't thumbs down me because you thought the show was bad. All right, guys. Later. See you later. Bye.